Hello everyone, my name is Barbara, I'm the Polish girl who lives in Ireland and likes to knit, and today I have episode 62 for you. And this episode is a podcast, a chat about things, and what I'll be talking about will be what I'm wearing, KALs, which is knit alongs. Then in the jar section I'll pull someone out of the jar, then what's off my needles, what's off my chest, and what's on my needles, what's on my chest, and then giveaway, which is like a question thing, you know, because that's a sneaky thing that I forgot last time on episode 61, but I kind of make a note on the screen. Hopefully you haven't missed that, but anyway, I'm going to remind that. And a shop section, because I am an owner of a little shop, online shop, which is called knittingILove.com. So if you haven't checked it, go and have a look. All the timestamps are down below, and all the show notes are down below. So basically, timestamp, you have a time, and a van. You have the links to the things I'm talking about. I'm not linking to everything. If I'm showing you something on the screen, I presume that you'll be so kind, and if you're interested to look more about it, you will do that yourself. Thank you so much for clicking and checking this channel. I appreciate you watching and hopefully enjoying it. Other than that, on this channel you can find different stuff. You can find finished objects videos, because that's the way I like to journal. Is that a word? Is that a noun? Journal my projects too, not only on Revelry. Obviously you can go on Revelry, you can see it too. You probably see it more because actually I started finished objects video on a different channel, which is my name and surname. Now I can try to find what that is. Anyway, and you can find playlists, and that's sorted, but also you can find vlogs, which I'm thinking, should I continue on this channel or should I move it to my previous one? Okay, I'll tell you my name and surname over here, which is Barbara Nalewko. Okay, so I'm just thinking, should I move it or not, because it kind of clashes with my, let's say, not really OCD, but, you know, organization thing, that here my playlist would be just about, you know, hats, shawls and socks and whatever I'm knitting. And I also have a playlist now according to the counties that we visited with Seb, and Seb is my husband, by the way. And yeah, and I think it's really cool. It's just so if someone goes on the playlist, it moves too. You can't sort it out, and it's just all over the place a little bit. So I don't know what to do. If you have any suggestions, let me know. Does it bother you, or have you ever even been and checked the playlist on this channel? Check it out, or let me know. What do you think about this idea? All the links are down below to my social media, so just go there and check if you're interested. And if you are, you probably will, because that's what I do. Oh, I haven't mentioned it for a while, but underneath here you can see like a knot, I would say. That's the symbol. If you click on it, you can see speed, and if you want to speed this or any episode or any video on YouTube you like, you can do that. You can even slow it down if someone speaks too fast for you. Well, I normally watch everyone on 1.5. I'm telling you, it's way funnier and quicker, and you can watch so many. Okay, I think that's all, and now let's move on. What am I wearing? I'm wearing my latest finished object, which is Potluck Pullover by Victoria Zahanovic. A necklace that I got myself ages ago, and I've fallen in love with it again. And yeah, I'll tell you more about this, because that's the finished object, complete finished object in the section of my needles. So yeah, let's say that much. Oh yeah, maybe it's, you know, figuring weight yarn. Okay, KALs. So I'm hosting 3 KALs. The first one is the Hat KAL, which is annual thing. So you can knit along with us. If you crochet or knit any hat, you can enter to that thread. No worries, don't look for it. Just go down below, and there is a link, so you can click and enter. If you're a Revelry, if you have a Revelry hard word account, and if you don't, you can join. It's for free, and I'm telling you, it will make your day. Not even a day, a few years of your life, I would say. You have their free patterns, paid for patterns. You'll be shocked how creative and talented people are. Yeah, and maybe on the screen I'm going to show you the price for that KAL, so to spice things up. And the idea for this KAL is not a time limit, is a finished object limit. So basically I'm going to pull someone from the batch. Oh, I don't remember which one was it. Anyway, it's written down over there. So basically we're heading to 1,000 finished objects. Well, hats. Okay, and the second KAL is also annual KAL, which is called Knitting Crocheting Make Along. And this you can knit or crochet anything count, finished object. You go there, you click and you enter whatever you knitted this year if you haven't done it already. So yeah, just saying. And I think that's cool, and I love seeing your projects and crocheting ones, because you see, I think crocheting is really cool in regards toys. You can knit so many stuff, and I actually did something a bit, oh yeah, I write it down, a bit of crocheting myself this week. Okay, and the third one is a time limit. There is a time limit, 24th of August, and this is Wild Bloom KAL for my Wild Bloom shawl. And I also took part, and I really wanted to gradually, you know, pace myself with knitting this shawl, but unfortunately, I finished it. I'm going to show you. No worries, I'm going to tell you more in the section finished objects, but it's here. Love it. The pattern is written in Iron Sweet, but I did with fingering. Right, and for this KAL, I picked prizes. Well, the only thread at the moment what we have is a chatter thread, but I think I'm going to create a finished object now. So, well, soon. What is the prize? So the prize will be something from my shop, which are these little things. So we're going to have a coaster, which is green coaster, but not only a coaster, it's a kind of design too, that you have a needle checker, size needle checker. I think that's a proper term, at least in my head. And okay, maybe I'll come closer. So here it is, a coaster and needles checker in the millimeters, and here is circular needle pouch, flower power with few tags over here. You can sew them, or you may notice that I use them for holding my progress keepers. So that, and then you have smaller tags. These you can sew on your project, which I do, and I put them on my hats. You can see it in a while and finish, or maybe now what's on my needles. And this is animal print. I know I should call it a different way. And fall colors, and what else I wanted to say. Or what I do sometimes with it, I get that bulb thing and create it as a progress keeper or a marker. So I think I'm going to do that soon in my shop. So stay tuned. I'll be adding these into the packages. Oh, because I think it's really cool. Okay, not only those two things, you're going to get, whoever wins actually on the 24th. And here's there, I'm going to enter to the prize, which is one of the Knit Crate's in-house yarns. This is Ur yarn. We have 80% super merino, 50% nylon fingering, 400 yards, but there's 365 meters. Lovely plum thing. I love it so much. Be a beautiful socks or a hat. Ooh. And this will be another skein that I'm going to give and sneak in, because I knitted it with this one, and like I said, 75 grams, and I still have some left over, so that would be perfect. We can have a matching things. Obviously you need to come up with your own border idea, but I'm going to nicely put it in the skein and send it to whoever wins it with the other skeins. So it's 2 skeins now. Okay, so that's all about KALs, I think. I'm going to take a photo and maybe post on Instagram, so I will have a lovely over here too. Oh, I forget to do that. In the jar section, so we have an in jar section, which is the section that I put podcasters into the jar, and I'm pulling them out once per month to let them to pick something from my shop, and then that way I also pick something for their lucky viewer, because they can include stuff that I send that to them, small things for their giveaways, KALs, or whatever they want, just for their one lucky viewer. So here, this is I'm going to draw someone, but before that I want to put one podcast in, which is a Cheveril. Okay, it's very hard for me to say, so check the screen now. Cheveril, that's the name, and she is amazing. You need to check her out. I'm going to put Cheveril, I think that's, at least you see Cheveril has information in the tab about on YouTube. You know, you can see home, playlist, something about, I don't know, that's something. So anyway, so we're going to put her over here, and I'm going to pick a podcast for August. Actually, I actually picked out from the jar Little Yellow You podcast, and she got in touch with me, Zena, hi, and check her out because she's giving my goodies in the revelry, so no worries. On the stories on Instagram I post about that too, so this is actually the photo. So yeah, so definitely if you're not following me on Instagram, try to do it. Okay, one podcast. So now the stories that I've been putting podcasts over here for ages. Okay, I have one, and I don't know if they podcast or not, or they're split or anything like that, so it's a little bit stressful now for me. So now what do we have over here? Okay, you can see it now. I don't have a clue, so now let's flip it. Franklin knits, they're on. That's so cute. Okay, I know her. And if you don't know her, definitely check the show notes down below. I'll definitely link it to her podcast. Happy, hopefully, I think she's a person who's going to get in touch with me. So if you get in touch with me and you see this video, please go to my shop, link down below, check what you like, send me a message on Revelry, and I'll pick the goodies and send it to you. Don't forget to give me your full address, full email. Can't wait. Happy. And whoever is watching now and you haven't checked, Francophile, she's teaching French actually, you know what, that's why I'm so bad. But anyway, so yeah, go check out her episode and let her know that she wants something over here. I think that's the best, to win something without even entering yourself. Oh, so now what I'm going to say. In regards in the jar section, this thing is going to go ahead for the end of this year, and then I'm going to do something else. I hope you're going to like it. No worries, whoever was going to stay in the jar, I'm going to give those podcasters a special discount in my shop. So if you end up over here and you may not be picked out, so no worries, there'll be something in December, I hope. Because yeah, it's a little bit stressful now. I know I've been putting podcasts over there for like 2 years or 3, and some are not actually podcasting, and for the next few months. Okay, let's move on to knitting content, shall we? Let's go off my chest, off my needles. Right, so as I said to you at the beginning, I record short videos too, which I call finished object videos, because if someone is asking me something, I can actually refer to a certain video, and with episodes, I don't have a clue what I'm talking about. Most of the time, if you ask me, oh, you know, you mentioned something on in episode 44, I would not have a clue. In the last episode, I was mentioning that I was knitting socks during our trip, 3 days, with my cousin who was visiting us, and I figured out that maybe in those few days I'll be able to knit her a pair of socks, and I could. And I did. So eventually I posted finished object video, and so you can check it out. It was a Drops Fabel yarn, and she loved it. She took it straight away, as I said, and that's why I wanted to record, just to put it up later. So yeah, on the screen. And the next one is this beautiful potluck pullover by Victoria Zahanovich, Canadian designer, who I actually entered this project to Canada KAL 2018, because you can. It's, I think, Grocery Girls, Jodie and Tracy, they're organizing that KAL, and it's about or using a Canadian yarn or knitting something created by a Canadian designer, and I think that's all. I don't know, anyway, check it out. Will I put the link down below? I'll probably forget, so you know, Grocery Girls. Anyway, what I knitted over here, I'm telling all about it in that finished object video, but just to quickly mention, this yarn is fingering weight yarn, and the actual design is meant to knit pullover with scraps. Well, not really scraps, minis maybe. So I don't have that many. Actually, just have a few. I don't have that many leftovers. But I had 2 skeins of this lovely grey and 1 skein of this lovely bananas color yellow, and I actually haven't even used the whole thing. Anyway, I don't remember now how much I used, but on the video I'm telling you how many I have of leftovers of this yellow beauty. Actually, I was gifting, and I actually sent it. Yes, I did. On Instagram, a yarn, 1 skein, and another skein with that, and yeah, I can't build up words. I'm not feeling very well for the few days. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably know. And also I have a challenge for myself this month and everything, and it's just a word over here. Right, so I love it so much. I'm thinking of knitting another one. Well, I'm thinking of knitting another fingering weight sweater, pullover, let's call it pullover sweater. So if you have any suggestions, what would you recommend me to knit? And now, and I'm thinking to knit with this beautiful yarn. This yarn I got myself for Christmas, and tamiwicolours. And I have this, which is sock yarn 4-ply, 75% wool, 25% nylon. We have 420 meters, 100 grams, so it's a little bit thinner, I would say, with this one. This one was 400, and I knit this on 3 millimeters, and this is, yeah, so I definitely will knit this one on 3 millimeters too, hopefully. And look at these colors, aren't they beautiful? I love it so much. So I think it's going to be something really nice. What do you think? If you have an idea what I can knit with it, let me know. I said I had some leftovers, so I presume I would be able to have maybe 2/3 of a sleeve for this. Although I know I don't need, I could have the same kind of width over here or even slightly less. Right, so I think I'll be okay with 3. I have a kind of just now how many stitches I need here, I need here, I need here, I need here. So when I look at the pattern now, I will read it all and kind of figure out how many stitches in certain places of the sweater, t-shirt, or anything you call this, I need to kind of fit me well. So I'm thinking of doing this. A next finished object video, which is Wild Plum Shawl. And here it is, my beauty. We have put on. So as you can see, this is a fingering weight. The pattern is actually for Aran, but people are knitting with a DK. And now some after the finished object video are willing to knit it at fingering weight. I think it's really cool because you can use your leftovers. So now, next time I'll definitely knit another one because I think it's perfect shawl for a gift knit. I use 75 grams ish, you know, let's say 80 grams of yarn overall, which is like what, a standard pair of socks. So I could knit a socks or I could knit this shawl as a gift for someone. I think that's my, anyway, my train of thought. What I didn't do, I didn't measure how much of this beautiful A Mermaid's Tail colorway I use for the border. I only measured the lace section, which was 50 grams, so I can, which was 50 grams. So I presume this border would be another, what, 5 grams, or maybe let's say even 10. I don't think so, but yeah. And then we have a garter section, which took me exactly 25 grams, which all gave me with that blue color 75 grams. But that's what I have as a left here, my leftovers, and this is exactly 25 grams. So that's that. Oh wait, I was giving 1 skein on that in that KAL. So yeah, if you haven't watched, if you skipped over here to the section and you missed an KAL, so knit alongs, go check it out, because for that Wild Bloom KAL I was presenting prizes over there. So yeah. There was a skein of this lovely goodies, and quickly I'll show you on the screen the yarn. So this is the yarn. The colorway is Love and Happiness, and here we have it's a single, but the blend is quite interesting. Check it out. It's merino, silk, and kid mohair. Beautiful, beautiful. Check the screen, and I love it. You can leave it like that, or I could definitely wrap it over here and just hide it completely. But I think it's just, it have that drape over here that I can leave it like that. I love it. I love it. And the other thing that I finished, I don't have it because it's quite at my work now. I can say we're very busy, but I'm not busy. So I come up with a quick solution in regards Keyring, and I used my I don't feel well. I'm not going to run for it. But basically on the kind of Keyring, I have 3 types of hooks. Actually, they have numbers. I could probably look it up, but I use it to create something like this. I basically use a paper clip, and I presume did a crochet stitch around it, or single crochet, and then I was just messing it to create like a bottom. I went up. It looked weird shape. So I thought, no way, no, I'm not going to do that. So I kind of added more so it looked like a purse than something else. And I put a letter because it's for 8, first 8 things. Right, I think that's all. Probably forgot loads, but let's move on to another section, which is what's on my needles. Okay, before I start what's on my needles, I just want to tell you that I want to knit a fingering weight sweater, and I'm looking and waiting for your suggestions. This is the yarn I'm going to use, so hopefully I'm going to make a swatch. I'll be knitting in a round, so I need to make in the round swatch, and or you know what, I won't be doing a swatch. I just presume it's going to be quite similar. I know that's the very bad thing to say, but yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to use 3mm needles because I think I'm going to get the same results as over here. I'm going to have a little bit of positive ease, so even if it could be too big, then I will have it a little bit more. If it could be too tight, when they'll be fitted. That's my goal for this. Second, as you can see on the side, I dyed some yarn. So anyway, maybe on the screen over here I'm going to show you a few photos because I share stuff like that on Instagram more. And this is the yarn that I got during one of the vlogs. And one of the vlogs, that sounds, yeah, but anyway, there's a vlog about it. So maybe on the screen over here, it's when the guys went to do a challenge, a hiking challenge, and we were waiting for them, and there was a really nice coffee shop, and they had a small kind of traditional tourist section, and I found yarn over there. It was white, so basically no dyed, and I did natural dyeing, so hopefully you can see it on the screen what I was doing with it, and those colors I got. I don't have alum, which is a mandate, I don't know. Anyway, when you do a dyeing, and this is protein, right, because it's a hair or fur, you need something, some chemical compound, let's say that way, to have that created natural juice stuck into it. It's like a Velcro, basically. You have one side of the Velcro, let's say soft one over here, and you have to have something rough between to get it together. So I didn't have that. I had a little bit. There's, I think, 5 things that you can use. You can use like alum, you can use iron, you can use other 3 things that I don't really remember. And someone told me there's some plants that actually have tennis, oh, I'm just butchering, but there is something in like a tea that maybe the tea will give you a nice effect. But so what did I do? I have a tree with the leaves, shocking, and that it's a birch, I think that's how we say it, and that those leaves gives a nice yellow color, which is true. I added a little bit of turmeric, but what I've heard, it gives nice yellow color, but it it washed off quickly. And I put it in, and I thought it was quite yellow what I got, so I decided to add a tea. We went, I think like maybe 2 years ago, we went to an Indian shop and we tried to, you know, get some spices and stuff, see what other countries have, and have you know, like adventure. And we got a tea which was very strong, I would say, and I don't really like strong teas, so I just put it into the jar and left it there. So I created an extra batch of the dye, and I put the yarn back into it. Although, like I said, this over here I have, I think 280 grams, that's one. So we have almost 500 grams over here, so quite good quantity for a sweater, and I think anyway. And so I put it in, but it stayed there for a while. I'm not saying probably you should leave it for 24 hours or something like that, but I left it for a few hours. And first I had it a little bit darker, but once I was washing it off with just the water, it kind of washed off. So yeah, you probably need that thing like alum or anything like that, but I didn't want to. I actually went to and asked for it, but it was very expensive, and it has to be specially delivered to the shop and so on and so on. So I don't know if you have any suggestions, but this is the color I got, and you may, I hope you can see it, I got kind of two colors. I really like that anyway. We get beige and we get some yellow, but it's dust yellow, some beige. In person you'll definitely see it. It's not so, even in person it's a gradient. It's like hard to say. I'm really tempted to knit with it. Oh, you can see over here beige, and then if I do this, maybe you could see it. I don't know. So I'm thinking what to do with it, because it took 5 days to dry or 4, and I would love to have some green elements in it, because I think if I knit a sweater with it, right, people will think I'm naked from a distance. Don't you think? Unless I mix it with some yarns and it gives nice effect. I'm not sure what to do. I would love to maybe get a little bit darker brown. If you have any suggestions how to do it, please let me know. Like I said, I don't have access, don't have a source for alum, but if you know, but if you have any other ideas, let me know. That's basically what's on my chest, and yeah, I'm thinking what to do. Okay, I know, so that's something that I've never done. Well, I've done. I dyed this one natural dyeing again, but I put a bit of iron over here, and probably, but this is 100 grams. Okay, 148 grams. And like I said, I did not put enough iron over that to probably get the color. So I love this. And this I dyed myself, and I love it so much. And it's just there. Let's move on. Maybe now something what's on my needles, okay? Because I have a bits too. Right, so we have this beautiful bag, which is Bags by Diane. Check it on Etsy. I'm going to leave link down below. We have over here socks. Oh, and we're going to say a few things about it. Here they are. If you see this pouch, so this is my Knitting I Love pouch, but this is more Christmassy themed, and I use this to knit gift knitting. I use this for gift knitting. So you know, these socks will be for someone, and what I like to do, I showed you that maybe in the last episode before, I just knit stuff and I put it into the box, and then during December I just have fun packing and deciding who gets what. And this is the pair of socks that I'm knitting. I'm knitting it on Hiya's interchangeable because I like the moving bearing, although it kind of unscrews, so I have to screw it back on, but it never happened to me that it actually tip went off. And so that's why I like it. I knit 2 at a time. That's my favorite method of knitting, although I'll be trying something new. Follow me on Instagram. So now, needles, pouch, bag, yarn. Yarn cozy. So what yarn I'm using? I'm using Drops Fabel because that's my, because I got Drops Fabel like maybe a year ago. The Drops, they normally have sale every month for different types of their yarn, and one time they had for this and I just got loads. Okay, I can tell you, I can maybe show you my stash if you want in a sec, but maybe let's finish this one. I'm showing you the number now. So the number is 915 if you would want this color. It is a beautiful color. I loved it. I was actually keeping it for a special occasion to knit something for like male socks. And these are male socks. If I knit male socks, I'm doing 64 stitches. For myself, I'm doing 56 stitches. Yeah, the blend over here is 75% wool and 25% polyamide. And even though it doesn't say over here wool, it doesn't say superwash wool, but it says over here in the front, superwash treated sock wool. So I was putting them into washing machine, obviously for a gentle cycle, and nothing happened to them. They're very, you know, for the price, they're fine. I don't know how many socks I have knitted. Maybe I'm going to count and show you the number with Drops Fabel. And I have never had problems, but the thing had to happen, right? Because this is a quite good quality in regards base. I don't mind anything to do it, and with the color I've never had an issue with it until now. So let me show you this. First of all, in the last episode I had like those bunny ears on the screen. You can see it now, not how much I have shown you last time, and actually you can see I knitted more on it. And yeah, it took me 30 minutes to try to see if I'd be able to match one ball with another one, and it was very hard for me to do, and you will see now why it was so hard. Let's put it like this. So as you can see, I start knitting from the toes up, and when I was unraveling one ball and I was unraveling another one, I was getting completely different colors. So as you can see, probably what's happening, they're putting a loads of color and then they're, I don't know, wash it, blend it to get this, and it's exactly the same thing over here, but you have more you know, solid, not such a gradient color over here. So this is what's going on. Second of all, I got two knots. I'm not saying in one ball. It could be that I got it in like two balls separately, but this is very bad. But no worries, it's going to go to whoever's going to love it. It's going to a special touch, as I say. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with the base. There was an issue now with the dyeing over here, and it just happened. With this, it's as you said, if it was this and I had two like this, I would not complain at all. Not complain, but look at that. I'm going to tell you I'm going to tell you more about it when I finish them. So what I'll do, I probably need to cast off now, and I'm going to put Afterthought heel. This is the heel I like. I've never tried other heels. Well, I did Fischlipski's heel. I think German short row heel when I was 15, and I got a book and they said something that you need to do and didn't specify this is this method or this is this heel. So I think I did just two. But I like Afterthought heel because I just knit, and then I decide where to put my heel. And the same thing with that, it's quite, and I'm not doing any, you see, if you hear Afterthought heel, most of the times you will feel that you have to, while you're knitting it, put stitches on hold on a spare yarn, thread, how do you say it? Anyway, you cut the piece of the yarn and you just put the stitches on, right? Yeah. And then you cast on the top, I think, and you're continue knitting in a tube, and then you have to do something with it. What I do, I don't do that. I just basically knit and I chop the space that I want to. I marked actually where I want to put the heel, so somewhere over here, and I'll be snapping the yarn. No worries, it doesn't sound as easy. First you need to put needles, but I have over here maybe a short tutorial or the thing that I do stuff. So Afterthought heel lets you cut yarn. So if you're interested, go have a look. Link down below. So this was a rant. I normally don't say anything bad because I love every yarn I have, and I would probably love it if I was knitting maybe with just that 50 grams something, and I found it quite interesting to have that extra difference. Like, I don't know, maybe I was knitting a hat, but because I'm knitting socks, tell me what do you think about it? So yeah, so that's still on my needles, and hopefully I will record finish object video. So stay tuned, subscribe, hit that bell because I don't have a schedule. Okay, in the last episode I showed you one of those things that I have behind me, and I can show you a sneak peek what I have over here. So you will definitely see me knitting Drops yarns for a while, because I'm not giving it away, and I think, you know, whatever you have, you should knit through it. So I'm just going to show you randomly. This is all Drops Fabel, what I have. Yeah. Maybe you have a color that I have too. I have some leftovers in this one. I don't know, for heels. I use that lately. And some over here. And remember, I thought that I had a Lima, Drops Lima in the grey. I do have it, I just put it somewhere else. So now, I showed you a bit. Let's move to that Drops Lima. Now, in this bag, I have a project. The last episode, I was showing you just what I have in this one, right? And that was all Drops but Lima, Nepal or something like that. And I had a quantity for a sweater in this color. Whoa. In this color. I'll show you in a sec, but here are my sleeves. And I know it's a gift knitting, I don't have my pouch, but I just wanted to match it with the color. So I'm knitting this on high interchangeable, and I'm not using 5-inch tips, but 4-inch tips. 4-inch tips, and so they're smaller. And normally the body, I have a body. I've knitted already a body. Here is the body. It's a free pattern, so I'm going to tell you that I have 38 centimeters over here on the cord, waiting to be cast on. Now, you're probably wondering what that is. So this is 65% wool, 35% alpaca, and it's 7219. That's the color. It's very nice. Olive, maybe lighter than olive. I like it. Anyway, I like it very much. So over here, the drops over here comes over 50 grams, and over here I have, this is third, I think, ball. And this is a bottom up knitted sweater. So this is what I can actually do. Once you finish a section, you can just leave it, and you don't have to carry it around. So I love that. And the pattern is a free pattern, and it's called Mosaico, maybe I'll show it on the screen, by Felipa Carneiro, I would say it that way. And I thought, when I saw it, I thought it's something that my sister would like. So finger crossed. I'm knitting a small size, but what do we have over here? Maybe I'll tell you quickly. Okay, the gauge for this pattern is 20 stitches by 28 rows in stockinette stitch on 3.5mm needles. They're talking about a yarn, which they use some yarn with a 50 gram balls, and it has 125 meters. So in 100 watts, 250 meters. Quite interesting. Interesting, isn't it? Have you ever had a skein 100 gram, which is 250 meters? Needles, they recommend 3mm and 3.5mm, and we have small, medium, and large. And in centimeters is 86 centimeters, 95 centimeters, or 105 centimeters in your finished bust circumference. But there is schematic also, so you can check what you want. And yeah, I'm in the beginning of some interesting part, which is the color work. Finger crossed. Do I have enough yarn? I don't know. So how many did I use already? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 balls. Because here is not a ball, it's already some hanging bits. 5 balls. And I have only a 100 grams more yarn chicken. No, I'm not going to buy any more. I have some colors, and I notice sometimes when you go to projects on Revelry that some people finish a bit with different color, and I thought I'll go with that. if that happens. So if you're interested to grab needles, check down below. I have some Hayahayas interchangeable sharp in my shop. So if you want something, grab it. Lately I'm not feeling the best. I think I probably should call that I'm sick. And that's one stuff that I also have on my chest and I've been doing for a while, is I joined a challenge. I don't know, it's a challenge. It's basically you feel that you're in a team even though you're doing it on your own. It's kind of pushed to do something to help the team to grow. And what I'm talking about is a challenge created by Bakery Bears. It is called Climb Every Mountain, Run, but you can walk, no worries. I'm walking and now try to spice things up, and I try to run for like a bit. My goal would be that I comfortably can run for 10 minutes. And then I can walk, you know, I don't have to be a runner per se. I just, you know, in case in any situation in my life I would have to run for 10 minutes, I'll be able to do it. Let's say it that way. So that's one part, and I love it so much because, well, I'm using my watch to, you know, measure whatever I do, and then manually I'm adding into the Runkeeper. And you don't have to be a knitter to take part in it, just you need to get in touch with Dan. So I would go check Bakery Bears on Revelry. They have definitely thread and more information on it. But what I like to do on the Runkeeper, you have a progress, and your people that are in that group, you could see all of them, and basically once they, you know, walk and add some mileage, they will be moved over other people. So I'm trying to keep up in like with Dan. So I felt, anyway, it's not only that, we're going on holidays in September and I want to be fit. So I decided that every day I will go for a walk. That's one thing. And I felt very bad, I think 2 days ago, and I just, yeah, basically yesterday. And I slept for, no, basically day before, and I slept for 4 hours after work and I felt horrible. I could not even knit. So I decided, well, you know what, we have days that we very feel crap, and then we have another days that we just kind of push off and we can do more. So, and I hit myself, well, I basically did what I could, and that day I walked for a longer period of time, and luckily I had a time to do that too. So I'm there. Yeah, so I'm enjoying very much. And the only other thing that you can join, but that's only for patrons for Bakery Bears, is to take part in the knitting, because there's a finished object thread and you can add your finished objects, and I've been doing that since January, and every project has a certain number of feet, because we're climbing mountains, and those mileage also is kind of converted into the something with the feet that we're going up the mountain. Actually, that's not my thing, you know, it's cool that we're walking. It's more about being in the group and feeling that you belong somewhere, and I love it so much. And especially that it's created for everyone. You can actually walk, you can do just a mile and be added there, and it also counts. So anyway, I haven't mentioned that, but I was joining my finished object videos, and maybe I will update you about that. You can check those finished object threads if you want to. Like I said, only patrons can enter. And so far I knitted things that equals 560 feet. That sounds really cool, doesn't it? But when because I don't really understand feet that much, I converted it to meters, and that's just 170 meters, which doesn't sound so great. That's not a lot. But there's so many knitters and so many people joining that thread, because, well, if you're a patron, that the knitters are actually winning against walkers and runners, because that's also an inside competition. If you want, like me, you can take part in both, and I do that. Okay, that's something that you may not know, and you definitely would know if you follow me on Instagram, and especially on my stories. I'll try to post every time. I'm not telling you how many kilometers I did, because I don't think, everyone is different. Everyone has a different, you know, fitness level, and you may think I'm very fit, I may not be, and there's other things, you know, keep up with the image. So I just put information how long I have been walking. So comparing now to runners who did a mileage, but they just did that in, let's say, I don't know, 40 minutes, and I walked for an hour. I think, you know, I put more into it, I would say. Probably I didn't, but I want to feel like it, okay? So if you're a runner, let me feel that way. At least that pushed me to move forward. And like I said, I started sneaking in some running thing, and you could even see on stories how I run. And I figure out I can walk, I can run, I can skip, like, and I think I can skip, and I think skipping is better than running. Skipping, it's like Miranda. Anyway, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. Or if you do, then you have a laugh. Okay, and then what else I have on my needles? And what actually, I had a hat and I finished it. It's on my needles because I haven't recorded the finished object video, which I'm going to do, but also I was told that it would be really cool if I write a pattern, so I'm writing a pattern which will be a small, medium and a large size. This is, I call it Elf Zone hat. Why zone? Because my lovely husband Sebastian, he put it on. And if you're watching me, I'm trying to knit a hat for him with a DK weight, and I'm still waiting for your suggestions if you know any, because obviously I'm showing those suggestions to him and he's very picky. Yeah, so I'm sorry if your suggestion hasn't been picked. I know my 2 suggestions and almost knitted hats hasn't been picked, and I had to front them, so feel how I feel. So anyway, I knitted this beautiful hat. I put it on. With 2 weights of yarn. This is a, you see, that's the thing. It's very hard to say what kind of. Is it chunky? Is it worsted? Was this chunky? Is it worsted? So I'm going to tell you meters, how many meters we have in 100 grams. So over here we have 90 meters, which I would say, well, chunky. 90 meters, and then we're going into, let's say, call it worsted. We have 160 here, 64 meters per 100 gram, and I used for this 100 gram. My leftovers. Here are my leftovers. So this is my leftover. So yes. So this is it. This is medium. We obviously increase something over here to make it the same nice flow. We're changing needle sizes. We're having this lovely pom-pom over here. And I love it. It's so much fun. So if you have a skein, but it's like thicker yarn and you don't have a clue what to do with it, you can literally use every bit of it to knit this hat. And I love it so much. I think it's such a cool gift knit, especially for Christmas, because who would not want to have a so cool hat like this? I was so, once I posted that photo and you were so eager to test knit, I have test knitters now who were test knitting this hat. I cast it on a large size. Oh, sorry. Okay. Before I start with the large size, maybe I'll tell you. So, this is Drops Andes. And this is one of the in-house yarns by Knitcrate, Knitology. I always forget that word, in-house. Here is on the screen Knitology by Knitcrate. It's called School Zone, and that's why I call it Elf Zone. I just like the zone, and I thought it'd be really cool to name it, for instance, for guys who are so picky with hats, and this kind of sounds like a game level. Elf Zone. So you can see it's 100% superwash merino, so it's very, very, I love the base of Knitcrates. And we have over here 164 meters, which, as you can see on the screen, is 180 yards. And what I can tell you now, I got an email from Knitcrate, and I'm crap, okay, with informing you about, so hopefully over here I'll do. Oh yeah, so on this channel, not only episode, not only finished object, not only vlogs, but you can also see me opening Knitcrate boxes, and the Knitcrate are sending me boxes, and I can use, and I have yarn that I can knit and create some stuff, beautiful stuff, and I hope you're doing that too. And the boxes are coming in with some patterns at the moment, some of them just drawn to my attention, and mostly I use the Knitcrate boxes as if I was getting crayons or some paint and I was in a creche and I can just have fun with it, because basically the quality, the base and the price with it, I always says, you know, like for instance this was a Knitcrate membership, which is, I think, from perspective of the price, the best box to get, because you're getting 2 yarns, 2 skeins of yarns. They're not all the time the same weight, so you can have fun with that, and you get 2 patterns, 1 crochet and 1 knitted pattern. And then Knit Crate, they're sending me a special links affiliate, which I have account, and whoever buys through it and use the coupon code KAL20, I'll get percentage of it. I presume that everyone knows what affiliate means, so I didn't really go into it. So if you didn't know, this is what it is. No worries, I don't have that many people who actually buy and stuff. But anyway, every bit helps, and anyway, even without that, I would be so happy that I can open boxes. But what they sent to me lately, they have a special deal now. If you subscribe to any of their boxes, the email doesn't say, you have to specify a subscription, and they have a few boxes on the screen. I'm just writing what kind of boxes they have available, so you can check them out. I'm getting 3, they have more than 3. You can get a Knit Crate membership, I presume, that you get a free Knit Crate. I'm not saying which one. Maybe it's membership, I'm not sure. But the only extra you're going to pay for it is that $5 of the shipping, because most of the time when you subscribe, the shipping is included in the price. $24.99 for instance for the Knit Crate membership, and that's what you're going to pay. So obviously with this kind of flash sale, you're going to pay an extra $5 just for the second one, because that would be for free. I hope you understand what I'm talking through. If you want to support this channel, you can go through affiliate link. That way they can track that you actually came in because you heard that from me. Well, it's up to you. You don't have to. You can go directly to the Knit Crate website, and that'd be cool too, because I love it, as you can see. If you're interested in what kind of things I knitted with Knit Crate yarn, you can go to unboxing, and in the show notes down below, in the unboxing, any unboxing, well, like the last unboxing, you can see the links to all the finished objects video I created since I was getting the yarn with the yarn, and some of them actually I use patterns, so that'll be both there too. I'm not the best explaining things, but I hope you get what I'm saying. If you didn't know what to do with the skein, and this is my, for instance, interpretation of the yarn, you can knit such a cool hat. I know it's a different weight, 90 meters, but in the pattern I'm going to tell you that you can use the worsted weight, just hold it double. Or you can hold it just once, but you use the same number of stitches when you see over here. Okay, that's not all, because I wanted to knit straight away with press knitters because I love doing that too. And I knitted another one, and this one is a large. It's a few stitches more. And this is the same Drops and this 90 meters, but this yarn is actually 160 meters, so 4 meters less than the other one. It is a different blend because it's a 100% lamb wool. I didn't take a photo of the skein, but it looked very rustic, but I thought, okay, even if it be rustic, this part will be the one that sits close to my head, and this one is where my hair is, so that won't really bother me that much. But actually, when I was knitting with it, because it is 3-ply, but it feels like 1-ply, at some point I had to actually connect ends together, which you can do with any wool. You know, there is a protein fiber, you just, you know, check it out yourself. I'm not going to explain it. So yeah, I was joining that, and I had more leftovers with this. Although in the pattern, I'm telling you, because with the worsted, obviously if you knit a larger size, you will use more yarn. With this one, I don't know where that is. Wait, this is the bag I am using. This is the bags by Diane that I was using for the first hat. Yes. Here are my leftovers. The story is like that with the chunky or worsted weight yarn and then with different gauge, it's very hard to exactly write down how many rounds you need to do. So my idea of writing this pattern is that I'm telling you how many inches or centimeters you need to knit to the crease. So basically, when I compare to those two hats together, you'll be getting almost the same height of it, which is approximately 22 inches, which is 56 centimeters. What needles I used for the brim, for this I used 6 millimeters, which is US size 10, and then for this one I use 4.5 centimeters, which is US size on the screen now. Sorry, forgot. I'm lazy to check because probably it takes so long. I know you love these colors, so if you're interested what that wool is, this is Rowan Colorscape, and as you can see they call it chunky, and it is 160 meters. Hope you can see it over here on the bottom. And the colorway is, I think this is the colorway, okay, over the barcode. So it's very hard to say is it a worsted or chunky. What I'm going to do, I'm going to count this as worsted, even though I'm using a chunky over here at the beginning, because I think you can just hold worsted double and you will get that fabric. That will be soon. I'm going to casting on a small size, so I will have 3 to show you, and I want to include those 3 photos at least in the project, so if you go you'll see. But my sample will be this hat, which is medium, because I thought everyone will kind of fit into it, but my gauge is a loose knitter. And for instance, if I had a certain number of stitches over here and you were tighter knitter and you would want to cast on slightly more, because let's say it's too tight, I always recommend after this to kind of put it on a cable or longer needles, circular needles, or a scrap of yarn, and to put on your head if you're knitting it for yourself. And if you notice that it's too tight, you can add some more, and that's why I came up with the largest size. But if I had to pick myself, I'm 22 inches, the circumference of my head, I would pick the medium size. Just saying. So I hope that will be soon, and it's going to be paid for pattern. Follow me on Instagram because I'm going to give 20% off, so you can grab it quickly. And if I post finished object video at the same time, so if you subscribe and you hit that bell, you'll get that. I probably leave it for 24 hours or maybe 48 hours. We shall see how that goes. You may grab it for a little bit cheaper. Lovely. Okay, right, move on. In the episode, I was showing you these socks, and I promised that I'm going to do something with it, and I haven't. So what I'm going to do, I already picked a color, so there's no excuses. I need to put toes. What has happened over here, I normally like my toe to decrease on both sides, but with this I tried a different toe, which I think it's called more umbrella toe, or more like a hat. You have few points of decrease, you join it together, and eventually you have so many stitches, you just cut yarn, put it through and pull it. And basically that yarn that's in there, not that the way I weighed in ends was wrong, it's basically snapped over that. So it's not the heel for me, or Seb. So I'm going to do my standard one. I've done already one sock and I showed you that in the last episode. Ready? So just to join this and go. What else I noticed, just to let you know, I know I probably should know that, but in case you're wondering, my pouches are 8 inches, which is 20 centimeters. So if you need to do some specific things, and if you own any of my Flower Power, the left corner over here, it's 10 centimeters. I needed 10 centimeters for something lately, and I just, wow, this is 10 centimeters. Like, even if you do a swatch and you want to check a swatch, that will be from this till here, it's 10 centimeters, so 4 inches. Here we have 2 inches, so obviously half of it will be 1 inch. Just that I discovered. Well, I knew that, but you know, that information has never been used in the practical way, and now it can. And this is beautiful bag that I got from Vicky from the Davixta podcast, and as it says, I have socks over here. So hopefully this will be, I'm not going to have that as a finished object because I already have a finished object for these socks. So if you're interested in what I'm talking about them, you can check it out down below. But just something to show you in my next episode, hopefully. Okay, that's all what's on my needles, what's on my chest. Let's move on to giveaways. In the last episode, I didn't have official any giveaway. And I forgot to mention that, but I already have it on Revelry, so link down below. It's something I call Knitting I Love pattern giveaway. So basically there is a thread, you can write down what of my paid full patterns, because I have the free patterns too, obviously you have access to them, so enjoy. But those for paid for patterns, if you're interested to get some, you can go there and write down what you like, and every month I'll be drawing one person. And the idea is that whoever wins will not get a chance to win again. I hope that's fine. And on the screen we have a winner for July month, and I'll try on the 1st of September draw another person for August. Obviously, you know, that date could be moved here and there, and I hope you don't mind. And yeah, something that I thought that I'm going to share with you every month, because I appreciate those who are watching, and I presume those who are watching are going to enter there. So obviously it is for members of Knitting I Love group on Revelry, so feel free to join and then enter. Person won my star hat, so on the screen, and I was happy to send it because that's what I like about patterns. It's something that send it, done. I don't have to worry, you're going to receive it. So I can't wait to see that hat. Other thing that it's kind of giveaway thing related, just to be aware, I have, maybe I put some information, or should I put it separately? Anyway, just to let you over here that I run a giveaway on Instagram, which is this photo. And unfortunately on Instagram there are a few accounts now, they're kind of bots, I think you call it, B-O-T. Basically they're created to draw certain clients, so knitting clients, to with those that I had to deal with, is to sell t-shirts. Just saying. So basically if you go on account and you see photos those photos do not belong to them, they basically, what they do, they take photos of other knitters and publish them. They sometimes put a credit, so I would know how to, I would know that someone used my photo without, you know, without informing. I don't mind you knitting my photos if you, for instance, knitted my hat, or you want to knit this shawl that I'm knitting and you want to just tell people that, oh, I'm knitting this hat, that's not a problem. Over here is a problem that they are not knitters and they're just using photos to sell t-shirts, basically. There's no relation between me. They're not using my pouches or they're knitting any of my patterns. They're not, you know, so for me it's, they basically use me, you know, and use my content, my copyright things. It took me a while to figure out what I can do about it, because Instagram is not really friendly in regards to that. And maybe on the screen now I'm going to show you, because that's what I did on the stories one time on Instagram. And I think I'm going to put those stories into separate thing on Instagram. Okay, so this is my Instagram profile and you can see those kind of things. I'm going to add one over here in regards how to remove maybe photos. I don't have it yet, but you see it's a plus and I can add some stories. Also over here you can see how to do it. Obviously it's very hard to get to this form, so basically this is what I do. First you click on inappropriate, which doesn't make sense, doesn't it? Because you don't think that photo is inappropriate. And I'm talking about giveaways. They're taking giveaways, they don't even credit me to those giveaways. So basically people think that that's gain. And even though I put my Knitting I Love, you know, thing, that it, you know, hard to say. You know what I mean? Even though I put on a photo that this is my photos for Knitting I Love, still people didn't read what account it is. Basically once, and I don't blame them, most people react straight away. They see photo, they see nice photo, yes, like, follow and stuff like that. They don't actually read. And I would recommend you now to kind of take a moment and read the account that you following, at least. Is it the account that actually says. So I'm not, first reaction what I had, that I'm not going to run any giveaways on Instagram, because even though if I report it and on the screen you can see following the thing what I was doing and how to do it, the other account, I believe those 3 accounts belongs to one person. Basically that person was just taking the photo anyway and I was just had to do the whole thing again. And Instagram, I don't think it counts how many photos certain account took, stolen, or, you know, took from, used without permission, to kind of, you know, ban it or block it or anything like that. Because if I press spam, that means that I will not be able to see a certain photo. If I click that I think that account is spam, I will not see that account, but that doesn't mean that that account doesn't exist anymore. It does. Other people can see it. So for me, it's not a solution. So the only solution is to report it, and like I said, I have a system to track my photos, because they take very old photos too. For instance, now we have August and they're taking my photos which I put on Instagram in December. So that's why I have hashtag like Knitting I Love hat, I have hashtag Knitting I Love socks, I have hashtag Knitting I Love sweater, and I have hashtag like Knitting I Love giveaway, although a few I forgot to do, and that's why it's very hard for me now to go, because I put loads of photos on Instagram. Unfortunately, it's reality and something we have to live with, I think. But the only way we could, I think, fight with it is to just whatever you see on your feed, and just check that account. If it doesn't sound the bell, just check what they are and what they do. And for instance, a few accounts, so with the account that I was reporting, well, not account per se, I was just reporting a photo. I could notice there is Mina's photos over there is some Knitting Monk's photos over there, there's loads of people and designers and podcasters that I saw photos that were used, and maybe basically those podcasters do not know how to report or ask for that photo to be deleted. And a new thing was that also I noticed that now my photos are used in stories. They're tagged me though on those stories, so that's why I know. But with the stories, there's no whatsoever at the moment anything you can do. So yeah, that's a giveaway slash thing. So if you have any suggestions, I think I'll be moving towards just YouTube and Revelry. Right, so that was a little bit of a little bit of me whining, let's say it that way, but I hope you understand. And what else? So yeah, that's the giveaway. For this episode, I also would want you to go to the Revelry now and write down what kind of patterns you like that I have knitted. And I'm not saying that if you win, you have to knit this pattern. You can also gift that pattern to someone else if you already have that pattern, and I will just send that on behalf of this person. You receive this gift, which is, I think, really cool. So I hope you enjoy this one. And the next section that I have is shop. So let's move on to shop. I am an owner of a little shop, which is knittingILove.com. It's not on Etsy. I know you're favoring my Etsy. And what I'm going to do, because I'm not the best businesswoman ever, maybe what I do, I'll just put a few photos that you can see my pouches over here, how I use them. There's a video underneath this video. You can check how to use my circular pouches if you're interested. And I have some higher needles. At the moment, I have tips for higher sharps and cables, and yeah, I hope you like what you see, and if you're interested to get any, I hope you do. And I think that's all. I don't have any Patreon website. Someone suggests that to me to do, or donation button, but I don't feel to be there at the moment. And also the Knit Crate, as I said, if you want to help out and you want to benefit from it, you could use affiliate link, and that to be you will support me that way too a little bit. And by doing so, then Knit Crate from their thing, they're sending a bit towards my way. So at least I have stuff for a post. Because as you can see on this channel, I do not have many acquisitions, so I don't buy a yarn so often, because you know, it's a financial thing. If you have money, you can buy. That's my thing. And if you want to buy yarn, you save for it. So I'm saving. And obviously on Instagram, some people are tempting me with 15%, 20% and stuff like that. And literally on my list, I have a big wish list in regards to yarn that I would want to get. But there are limitations. And I presume whoever is watching me, you have also your limitations. So I'm not on my own. So I hope you're forgive me that I'm not showing so many yarn, but I hope you at least love my knitting content, because I feel I knit a lot because of the situation I'm in. I have some spare time, and I don't have any kids at the moment, so I can enjoy a knitting time more than others. But at least I have loads of fun, and I love your comments and being here and talking to you. So I hope you enjoyed it too. I hope you enjoy your knitting time. Hopefully you were doing something productive, and if you want to share what you have in your needles, don't forget to use hashtag knittingILove. Show me what you're knitting, and if you have any suggestions for anything, don't be afraid to tag me if you want me to see stuff. And I hope that's it. I think I haven't forgot about anything. Yeah, I think that's all. I don't want to go. I need to go. Be loads of editing for this episode. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, less of my knitting time. So I hope you enjoyed this one. See you next one. Bye.